All right, guys, I just quickly want to talk about a few things about the world and in general where we're at right now. I'm going to do the boxing first. Please try to hang on because I'm going to explain a lot about what's going on in the world and why it's happening and just different general things. And no matter if you're just into boxing, you're just into this thing, or this thing, hang on, listen to me because you gotta know what's going on around you. So, in the boxing, boy, we've had a tremendous week. Put up a little bit of light play type sparring. Uh, it's probably 30 minutes on a video with 8 minutes actual playing around, a little bit of grappling. It's just, we do that from time to time uh, and, instead of hard sparring. Uh, I enjoy it because I stop the guys, I talk about different things, maybe about what I see at the moment, maybe about something going on in the world. So that's me, that's something I enjoy. And that's something that guys that come over and partake with us, they go through. Uh, so finishing, well, with that, uh, Joe's had a guy contact him that he's got to get back in contact with, that maybe we can go to, this guy said Bogota, right, Joe?
Yeah.
Yeah. That Joe could go to Bogota, that we could frequent up there and fight in some nationals. So I don't know, not making any promises because literally as soon as Joe comes along, there's nobody in his age or Joe's fixing to turn 17, so I think he can fight somebody up to 19 and fight a 18-year-old or a 16-year-old. I have to go back and look at these AIBA things, but anyway, that's looking good. Now to move on with the world now, we got a lot of protests going on in the United States, and we've got a percolating bad situation in Iran. I want to tell you the groups that are flipping out and going crazy over Iran against those that are right-leaning or centrist are the same groups that are funding and for all this protest and illegal immigration crap that has infiltrated our country. And I'm going to tie it in for you very quickly because nobody on the news is talking about this. Nobody on, you look at somebody like Joe Rogan, who now is talking about world issues. That guy's a pure lunatic, idiot. He didn't know until 6 months ago, 8 months ago, that Biden was even really doing anything wrong, and he's always been a leftist lunatic himself. Very slow learner, this guy, Joe Rogan. He's got most of the rest of you bullshitted, but he don't have me bullshitted. I've listened to this guy for a long time, and more often than not, when I just listen to snippets of him because I'm not interested in this BS. Everybody's, oh, he's over there with Trump. He was never really over there with Trump. This guy's a leftist, bleeding heart, effeminate lunatic. That's it. He can't cope with life. That's why he's chewing something and doing something to alter his mind pretty much all day, half the day long. All right. Not really. Tucker Carlson, whom I respect and like, is not touching on this. Alex Jones is not touching on this, but I'm going to tell you. And the reason why memories fade. Alex Jones is not old enough to know. Tucker, I believe, is, but memories fade, and it is what it is. Back in the 70s, I started at the high school I was going to. We started getting Iranian students coming in. And this was before terrorism started getting to the U.S., well in advance of that. And I'd talk to these guys and girls that were coming into the school. I'm like, well, why'd you leave your home country? And they all had the same story. You know, we have to flee because there's a religious crazy cult of people taking over in our country. And that is indeed and in fact what happened. I went to school a little later with two other individuals in Charlotte, North Carolina, that a brother and a sister, and they had the same story as those previous to them, but it was a little worse. So what I'm trying to tell you is, as time went, these Iranians, people that had to leave Iran, their story was getting stronger and stronger. And it's because the hell was getting worse and worse. But let me tell you who put the supreme leaders, as they're called today, in Iran. Iran had a king. We referred to him in the U.S. as the Shah of Iran. He was a good king. Of course, you won't get this on the news. It's all everybody else's fault, but I'm going to tell you where this ties into leftists doing this in a moment. Just hang on here. It's a story, and stories need to be told. I know a lot of you don't have no patience for stories. There was a religious leader called Khomeini, who later was called the Shah of Iran. He left the country. He was an agitator, not a good guy, not really religious himself, although he claimed the religion. He was no more than these idiot TV preachers that you see online telling you to send them $1,000, and within a year God will turn it into $7,000 for you. I mean, no real fundamental difference. They don't have a real belief system. They don't believe in a real true God, or the real true God, whom is Christ. So this stuff, he got sent, or he himself, the Khomeini, Ayatollah Khomeini, and he's in France, where he's getting all this money and all this help from all these leftist, left-leaning people in France. So France caused this, and then speeded up. They started protesting because they were making these little cassette tapes, taking them back to Iran, distributing them by the thousands, and people would put these little cassettes. They had tape recorders back then, and it'd have a mic you could plug into it, and you could talk away in the little cassette with those two. Well, all of y'all need to know what a damn cassette is, even if you go look up what a cassette is. But they passed out all these cassettes by the tens of thousands all around Iran with this guy's bullshit. So this guy was sitting in France, hopping everybody up with the help of France now, and other left-leaning organizations and governments in Western Europe. And these cassettes started promoting violence and the overthrow of the Iranian government. And I'm going to fast forward, I believe it was in January of 79. I mean, I lived this. This is how I know it. And the news today is nothing. If you go pull up newscast, which you couldn't half-ass get the truth back then in the late 70s either. They've always been BSing us on the news. The news has always been fake news. Just to let you know, this is nothing new. They've had their leftist claws on the media for almost forever. Okay, but anyway, they promote and they get all these paramilitary groups come together. The Shah was refusing to shoot on and at and murder his own people. He ended up, now I'm summarizing, there's a lot more that happened here. The Shah of Iran ended up abdicating. The Ayatollah Khomeini left France with French blessings, and this Islamic raging lunatic, with the blessings of Mitterrand, the former president back then of France, he goes back. Now meanwhile in the U.S., we've got an inept, totally confused, half-assed communist president ourselves, who could not run a 7-Eleven, much less a country. He couldn't run a Quickie Mart, much less a country. Empower that stood back and did nothing, hands off of everything, and that was Carter's Afghanistan debacle right there. Jimmy Carter was the first inept, do nothing, let the country run into oblivion president, and Biden was the second, see? So he comes in, then what happens? Immediately do terroristic things with the Ayatollah. Do terroristic things. And they're not talking about that. They're talking about nuclear capabilities. I don't care whether they got nuclear or whether they don't. I'm just telling you the facts here. They got on a worldwide to spread Islam, their fake, false version of it, which it's not a decent religion anyway. It's a religion of hate, and a religion of conquest is what it is. I won't even say hate. It's a religion of conquest. So one of the first terroristic acts that they committed was they illegally took over the U.S. Embassy, kidnapping U.S. Embassy personnel and the Marines that were there to protect them. Carter allowed this to happen, President Carter, this good old man, I love you, that built houses for the poor, which he really didn't. He really wasn't just that president. And for over, well in excess of a year, in 79 and 80, we would rush in to watch news that came on at 6:30. You'd rush in from school or work. Young and old alike would be peeled in front of that television, and it would be like day 128 of the hostages, day 400 of the hostages in the U.S., and we would sit and get updates, and every day we were coming home, are people going to come back? Are people going to come back? So they ended up sponsoring terror to other countries, and what they ended up doing, just petty little things like taking a 78-year-old disabled man who's on a cruise ship in the Mediterranean and in a wheelchair and just wheeling him off into the ocean to die. blowing up airliners with 200 or 300 people in them, uh, killing people around the world, uh, just bombing theaters, just a whole host of terroristic activities for damn near 46 years. So I do believe that regime change is necessary. I do believe that with what I'm seeing out of, we got a lot of Iranians that watch this channel. This channel don't get much views, but so many of the views that of what little views we do get come from Iran. I go back and forth with Iranians. I have Iranian friends that left had to leave in 78 and 79 that I still communicate to this day. And there's a theme going on here. And the theme is that the Shah of Iran passed away in 1979 or early 1980. Memory's not serving me right when the Shah died. I believe it was in later 79, but I could be mistaken. But he had a son. And this son is the exiled crown prince of Iran. And Iranian people in the droves are concentrating around the thought of their crown prince, who is still living. He's just a little bit older than me, or my age. And they're wanting him to come back and be the ruler, and they don't want a constitutional monarchy per se, and maybe most of them do. And if they make that decision, they should have it. But if they have a constitutional republic with a king as the centerpiece, maybe in head of state, like is in England, that would be a great thing. But I wanted you all to know that the same people that are behind this the protest, all the bad flux of illegal immigration into your countries, whether you be in Europe or North America, the same damn people put the terrorist Islamic regimes in power. That is factual. And I've seen a lot of arguments, the rest of you probably have too, with Tucker and Senator Cruz and other people. But I would tell you, these senators and these congressmen don't know their ass from a hole in the ground. Well, how do you know? Because I was highly, highly politically involved and worked around these people for years and was stunned from day one over how idiotic these people are on both sides of the aisle. And they give and take with one another just enough to secure that they keep their jobs, that they keep their power, that and keep the mess, the pot stirring, the shit stirring, so that they've got that income. And with $1 million, maybe more than that now, the $1 million in salary they can give out to 8 or 9 people and giving them a power base. And it all turns into a corrupt mess with such things as insider trading, insider government deals for these House and Senate members. And they're dumber than effing rocks, folks. So just wanted to talk to you a little bit about the world. Don't buy into what you're seeing on the TV. Don't buy into anything a congressman or senator is basically telling you. The majority of them are warmongers. They want war because they're going to get kickbacks from war contractors. I'm going to call them for what they are. They're not defense contractors. They're war contractors. And they're making profit off of the death and disability that's being thrust on to your children, your brothers, your sisters, your parents, and this shit needs to stop. With a regime change in Iran, if this is done right, where the people choose and decide what they want to do, there will not be vacuums like was created in Afghanistan and Iraq. These people are not Arabs. These people are Persians. They are a different people. They do not speak Arabic. Uh, and these different languages they speak their own, and they're Persians. They're not the same peoples. This is not as cut and dry as these dirty, rotten politicians are trying to make it be to you. So keep your head screwed on straight while all this is going on. And of course, everybody have a great week, and we'll talk to you soon.